Hey guys, it's been a bit of a busy day for me, but I still wanted to do a Nintendo Direct recap video, but you know, you could go watch the trailers and all that jazz on your own. Figured it'd be more fun for me to just talk about some of the things that I was really excited about that I saw during the Direct. And also, I figured I'd try out this newfangled Tetris 99 while I'm talking about it. So this is me playing for the very first time. I have not played the game at all. All I know is it's me against, what, 90... It's Tetris 99. So that means there's 100 altogether, and I'm 1, leaving 99 opponents? Or are there 98, and I make 99? I don't know. Whatever. Well, it says 99 over here, so... Alright, I guess there are 99. Anyway, I'm gonna try and play this game, and try and talk about what I really liked during the Direct. And I imagine at some point it's not gonna go too well. I like to think I'm an okay Tetris player, but we'll find out. I'm sure I'm gonna get my ass handed to me. But anyway, I wrote a list of the things I really wanted to talk a little bit about from today's Direct. I don't mention everything, I just go through the stuff that I was really excited for. So, first up is Super Mario Maker 2. This is already going to be a lot harder than I thought. Super Mario Maker 2 is something that's been rumored for the Switch for a while now. And it was nice to finally see it confirmed. Plus, it's not just, you know, when I heard the rumors, I was like, is it going to be 2? Is it going to be just a remake with a couple extra things added in? But no, they are officially calling it 2. So... we'll see what other new things are in there, but right now we got to see that there's Super Mario 3D World stuff in there, and I really liked Super Mario 3D World, so that's perfectly fine with me. I'm very excited to see what else is in there. But it was a great way to start off the Direct. I always like when they start off a Direct with a surprise, and they do that more often than not. And like I said, while it was rumored, it was nice to get a confirmation on it, so we'll see more of that, I'm sure, at E3, because what? Oh, is it due out in June or was it July? I don't remember. But yeah, I'm excited about that. I obviously really liked the Wii U gamepad for creation, and the Switch playing in handheld mode will be good for that too. I'll just probably pick up one of those styluses that works with mobile devices, because I don't want to like drag my finger all over the screen while I'm creating stuff. But yeah, I loved the first one. I actually got into creation more than I thought I was going to. I was like, well, I'm not really excited for creation. I'll just play what other people make. Oh boy, let's fix this. But I ended up spending way more time actually making stages and then having friends try those, and that was a ton of fun. So yeah, I'm totally down with that. Obviously, the other big reveal for the Nintendo Direct, there were a whole bunch of things in there to talk about, but the other like sizable reveal that I'm sure people will agree on is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is coming to the Switch. They are remaking that game, and again, that's something that was rumored. We heard talk of a 2D Zelda for quite some time. We didn't know if it was going to be new, but the rumors of a remake of that game have been floating around for months and months now, and it seems like the people who are in the know with that stuff were in the know. They got it right. We don't have a release date other than 2019, but it is coming, and it looks great. I love the art style that they've done. You know, talking about art style with Legend of Zelda games isn't really like a new kind of thing to discuss, because Nintendo usually loves to switch up what they do with art styles in their games, and this one, you know, has some similarities to like A Link Between Worlds, but it's certainly doing its own thing too, and I just love the look. I especially love the way characters' eyes look, and if you go back and look at like screenshots of the original game, you see that the way eyes are done is actually what they looked like in the original. It's just, you know, obviously the original graphics weren't as good as they are now, so it gives it a different feel now. It's almost like an old style cartoon approach with the characters' eyes. But I love that game. I love the music in that game. I just love that whole experience in general. I think that's one of the best Zelda stories that there is, so I'm really excited people will get to check that out, because, you know, there's a whole bunch of old people like me who have played it before, but then there's plenty of people who, oh god, who've never had the chance to. So it'll be cool to have them go in and check things out. So, I'm really excited for it. I'm very interested to see what new things are in there. We don't know if it's just going to be like, you know, it's Nintendo. Oh, I've made lots of mistakes here. It's Nintendo. I don't think they're just going to be like, yep, it's the same exact game. I think there'll be more to it than that. I shouldn't have done that. But, we're going to have to wait to find out what those things are. Because obviously this was just, I'll do it. Obviously this was just a reveal event. And I'm sure more will come at E3. That's not going to be out before E3. I would imagine that's going to be more of a holiday thing. It's going to be very interesting to see how that game sells. Because, you know, people are riding high on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That was like a big step for the franchise. And now this is like back to classic Zelda. So I'm sure... Oh, no! Oh, there it is. I'm sure some people are going to be like, what the hell? I don't want this cartoony Zelda. But the good... Oh, no. The good and the bad thing about Nintendo is they're Nintendo. So they love mixing and messing with their formulas based on graphics and gameplay and all that stuff. So I appreciate that. I'm very excited to see what happens. I am barely hanging on by a thread here. I have a list on my phone of games I want to talk about. But no! I obviously don't have that. I don't have time to look at that list right now. Oh boy, this is terrible. I wonder how long I can... No, it's coming. It's over. Oh, how many people were left? Oh, I guess that's pretty good. Remaining 10 players. I'll take it. I gotta stop. I might have to adjust how I play. Normally, if you can probably tell, I normally play to make Tetris after Tetris after Tetris, and that might not be the best thing to do. Maybe early on in the beginning, but not not when you're going up against the final like 25. All right, I got a chance to look at my list here. If I my battery's dying. I also want to talk about Astral Chain because holy crap, that game looked amazing. Oops, sorry about that. It's coming from Platinum, and it's got like the pedigree of people that are working on it is super impressive. And when I was watching it, I was like, man, this gives me a real like Nier feeling. And one of the guys involved with Nier, one of the main guys involved with that, is working on this Astral Chain. And I was like, oh, no wonder, it makes perfect sense now. Just the look of that game, it's like, there's some like interesting cell shading going on there, and it's obviously action-packed, and you can just tell by the way, like, the action moves about in a game to, like, even before they announced that Platinum is involved, you get a feeling from the pacing and movement of the action. And as soon as I started to see that trailer, I was like, oh, this is definitely Platinum. So, and that was what? Did they say that's coming out August? Or am I crazy? I thought it said August. So obviously this must have been in the works for quite some time. And somehow it was one of the games that didn't leak at all. We haven't heard anything about it. We just knew that Platinum was working on other stuff for the Switch. We just didn't know what. Just yesterday they were saying like, boy, we would like to bring the wonderful 101 over to Switch. That'd be great. And I was like, the timing of this conversation is awfully close to the Nintendo Direct. Maybe they're just, you know, playing and teasing and pretending like it's not happening, and then they'll announce it. But they didn't. But we got something brand new, which I'm sure is even more exciting. And obviously, the wonderful 101, I guess you would say, is more kid-friendly, at least in its designs. And this is certainly more of a, I don't want to say adult, but, you know, I guess there's no other term than like hardcore gamer. But yeah, I love the visual approach. I'm sold on the action. I cannot wait to find out more. It looks like it's going to be absolutely crazy, which is what I expect from Platinum. I'm doing it again. So yeah, I'm excited to learn more. I'm going to take a second to read this, and I shouldn't. Fire Emblem Three Houses. We finally got like a really good amount of details on that. Unfortunately, we found out it's delayed out of spring. It's coming, what? I don't remember, July or something like that. Which doesn't make people happy, understandably. But it we got like a really big breakdown. And I do like Fire Emblem games. I like them a lot, but I just suck at them. So I always have mixed feelings when I'm watching them. But I like the whole approach for this one. I shouldn't do this. I like that it's kind of like... Am I wrong in saying that it's kind of like Harry Potter? Like, you know, different schools where you join different, like, I don't know, whatever, sections of the school and fight for them. And I like the whole idea of, like, the class working together to take on challenges. I'm sure I won't like that when I have characters that die and I can't get them back, but just in principle, I do like the idea. And I love the look of the game. You know, the Fire Emblem has really, like, come into its own in recent years. And I'm sure this one is going to woo over even more people. It's nice to see Fire Emblem finally back on consoles. We've had it on, I mean, it became popular, at least in the States and Europe, through portables. But that's not where this franchise got its start, so it's nice to see it jump back over to the TV side of things. And I'm sure people are already wondering about who they can have relationships and all that stuff, but Nintendo will reveal that later. Oh god, I gotta take a look. Oh yes, Box Boy plus Box Girl was announced. I am such a huge fan of that franchise. I think that's one of the smartest puzzle games that has come out in recent years, and I cannot get enough. And I also love the very basic but interesting story that goes on in those games. I'm so happy that there's more coming, and it's not just like a port of all the other games. It's brand new, and it's got, I think they said something like over 270 levels to experience, and on top of that, this is not going well, on top of that, it's got co-op? I am all about that. I want the game now. To tell you the truth, that's one of the games I want the most. Like, and I was like, oh, please announce that this is coming to the Switch today. Unfortunately, it is not. I don't remember what the date is, but oh, this is a disaster. It's not far off, so we don't have to wait too long. Oh boy, that's what I get for looking at my phone. I lost the page for my... I'm gonna lose because of this damn list. I should have put my phone on, whatever the setting is so that the screen doesn't turn off right away. Yep, I blew it because of that. There's also... Oh, this is so embarrassing. The next one on the list is Tetris 99, which I'm playing right now and doing poorly. It's not the right shape, damn it. I like Tetris. For those of you who don't know, I actually wrote for Tetris.com for a whole year. No! I've always loved Tetris, and when I saw that a new Tetris was coming to the Switch, I was like, oh, that's really cool news, because I am a big fan, and to see that it was free to play, and today, and it's kind of like jumping in on the... Is that the right... No! It's kind of like the Tetris take on Battle Royale, which is obviously super popular right... Ah, damn it! Super popular right now. But I like it. I know I can control, like, where I send my line garbage to, but I don't have time to do that. I got enough trouble recording this video and talking to you guys, so this is getting really intense. How many people are left? I can only take, like, a glance. Oh, there's a killer. Oh, man. Well, that's it for me. Take me out. 10 players again! Well, at least I'm consistent, if nothing else. Alright, before I restart the next game, I'm going to turn off the settings on my phone so I can continue to see the screen the whole time. There we go. Alright, so, moving on. We saw that there's some new stuff for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and some of that content is available today. They added in co-op, which you can do through an update, a free update, and then they're adding in special levels and challenges. I think they said there's 18 new challenges and 5 new stages, and the first one of those stages is available today. Now, when it comes to challenges and stages, though, that is paid content. You just pay one price. So, I think it was like $5 or something like that. I don't know what the release dates are for all the other, like, pieces of content that they have coming out, but it's really nice to see that game get some extra content, because obviously, like I said in previous videos, I love that game. I feel it's one of the most Nintendo-style games that they've put out in a very long time. It's got a lot of heart, a lot of charm. I think the puzzles are really interesting. I just love the whole, like, design and mechanics of it. But it came out on the Wii U, so, you know, a system with a very small install base, and then it's kind of like a niche puzzler game at that. So it didn't have a chance to really, like, find a market, but thankfully Nintendo decided to put it out on not only Switch, but 3DS as well, and now the game has managed to move over 1 million copies. So it's very, oh man, it's very cool to see. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. It's very cool to see that they're supporting that game. This is off to a bad start right away. And I'm definitely down for more puzzles. I don't know if I'm gonna play it co-op because, you know, I've run through the game on my own already, and I know the solutions to the puzzles. I'm sure there's a few I've forgotten in there. But for those who haven't played the game, I'm sure the addition of co-op is a great motivator, because now you can run through the whole game with a friend or whoever, and you know, stuff, games like that, like puzzlers, platform puzzlers like that, make a lot more sense when they're two-player, so you can have somebody to bounce ideas off of and help solve things, just like Snipper Clips. Snipper Clips being co-op makes it that much more fun. If you had to control both the characters, obviously it wouldn't be as much fun. It's a little bit of a different circumstance here with Captain Toad because there was only ever one, but yeah, having a buddy there to play the game with will help, I think, make it a lot more fun and extend the gameplay you get out of it, because usually if you're playing with someone, you have to coordinate more and it takes longer to get things done rather than, when it comes to puzzle games anyway, so I would imagine you get a good amount of gameplay out of that. So yeah, I'm definitely checking out that DLC. I probably am going to do that after I'm done with this video. What do we got here? This one was really surprising to me. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is coming to the Switch. And it's surprising to me from a technical standpoint only. I think the game coming to Switch makes a lot of sense because Switch owners have shown that they're very interested in trying out new types of games, and Senua is certainly a new type of game and the story that it aims to tell. But visually, when I played it, I was like, oh, I was really impressed with the visuals. Like, some of it I was like boggled by. I didn't understand how it could look so good. I would never imagine it would come to Switch, but yeah, it's on the way. And from what we saw in the trailer, well, let's just end this dumpster fire. From what we saw in the trailer, it looks like they were showing footage of the Switch version. It looked, I don't want to say it looked bad, because it didn't look bad, but it certainly looked noticeably downgraded from what was on other platforms, but it still was very visually impressive, and I was like, holy crap, how are they pulling this off? If you haven't played that game, it's really special. It's really something interesting. It has a lot to do with mental health and a lot of other issues that you might never guess just from looking at like what the gameplay is, but yeah, there's so much to it. Oh, I thought I had a long piece left. So yeah, check out that one. Hopefully it runs smoothly on Switch. You know, we can already say visually it's not going to be the most visually impressive version of the game, but that doesn't mean that the gameplay and the other important mechanics aren't going to be there and be done well. So I'm holding out hope for that. That's going to be one of the most impressive games on Switch as far as visuals go. I would love to know who's working on that. We posted up the fact sheet, but I didn't have time to look who was developing it, so I'll have to pop back in there and see if it reveals that information, because whoever's doing it has a lot of hard work ahead of them. Alright, what else do we got? Daemon X Machina has the... this is not good. Has the demo content out today. I forget what it's like, prototype missions or something like that. And that's a game I've... Oh boy, look at this garbage. Look at this terrible board. I've been interested in that game since they first revealed it. You know, I like anime, so I like anything mech related. So when I saw that, I was like, ooh, this could be a lot of fun. And now we get some test missions to try out. And on top of that, you get to send your feedback to the developers after you play through stuff, which is obviously very welcome. And the plan is still to release that game this year. So it's good that we get a chance to, like, check it out. I think it's one of those games that will definitely benefit from people getting a chance to play it rather than just looking at it and like poo-pooing it or ignoring it. So hopefully people are going to download that demo and or the demo stages and check them out. I mean, it's free. Why the hell not? Even if you don't think it's for you, maybe you could play it and find out that it is for you and be surprised by it. That's always fun. That happened with me with the original Steam World. I didn't think it was going to be anything that would be up my alley, and I was completely wrong about that, so I'm very glad I did. So if you're on the fence with this game, perhaps you should give it a try. It's free. What's it gonna hurt? Oh boy. I start looking. Oh, no, no, no. I start looking at the sides and I get nervous because I'm like, oh, it doesn't look like there's a lot of people left here. Yes! Oh my god, this gets too intense. What else have we got here? Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Now, that's a game we already knew about, obviously. But, for for those who listen or don't listen to our podcast, you might not know that in recent weeks... Oh boy. In recent weeks, I've really gotten into comics, like a large amount. I could talk about it for hours to tell you the truth. Oh, this is going bad. No, 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 no! I don't know, I fudged that. Well, I'm gonna wait to continue this conversation because there it is. What was I? 1, 2, 3, 4? Hey, I'll take it. 7th place. I'll take it. Yeah, I've recently really gotten into comics. I could talk all night about that, but I'm trying not to. But now a series I didn't care about at all, I'm like ridiculously excited for. Because I'm like, hey, I know those characters. I've read about this stuff. I want to give it a shot. So today we found out it's coming out this summer, but Captain Marvel is also going to be included, and Captain Marvel's movie is coming out very soon. So makes a lot of sense. Builds up some hype for it. I think it's a good idea. It'll be interesting to see what I think of those games playing from the perspective of a comic book fan, or more in particular a Marvel fan. I'm a comic book fan in general, but I do read a lot of Marvel stuff. So, you know, maybe those games, well, I'm sure those games will resonate with me on a different level than what they originally did, but I don't, that's not what I meant to do. I don't know if I'll end up liking them more, or maybe I'll be more nitpicky because I'm like, this character wouldn't do this, you know, typical, like, comic book nerd stuff. But yeah, a game that I would have never otherwise been interested in, I'm now like chomping at the bit for, which is exciting. What do we got here? Dragon Quest XI looks absolutely awesome. It seems like that port's coming along really well, and the most surprising thing about it is like they were showing off a ton of like English footage, and it shows that the not only is the build on Switch pretty far along, but the localization, obviously they have the localization from the other version, the PS4 version that launched stateside, but still there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and it seems like they're really pushing along, so that's awesome. I've become a Dragon Quest fan in recent years. It started with the ports to portables that came over because I never originally played them on their original platforms, but when I was sent stuff for review, I was playing it for review, and traditional RPGs scare the hell out of me because I usually suck at them. But, you know, you gotta play it, so I was giving it its fair shake, and I was really getting into it, and I may not be the best player, but I got things done, even though they probably took me a ridiculously long amount of time compared to other people, but that's besides the point. I played it, and I became a fan, so now I'm helping the cause. I'm trying to, you know, raise awareness for Dragon Quest, and further the message of fans who have been crying and hoping for other Dragon Quest games to get localized. It seems like if there's going to be any installment in the franchise to really bring in newcomers, Dragon Quest XI on the Switch is going to be it. We've seen so many examples of positive sales with other games before. To tell you the truth, I would be shocked if the Switch version of Dragon Quest XI doesn't really do well here. You know, I'm not saying like 6 million in the first week or anything like that, but I think it will be a very nice debut for the franchise, the mainline franchise on Switch. And the footage they showed off in the Nintendo Direct today went, I think, did a really good job, because it was like, you know, Dragon Quest is a traditional RPG with all these battles and dungeons and everything, and castles, but on top of that, they're like, look, there's horse racing, there's all these side missions, there's, you know, customization, a whole bunch of other stuff. So I think they did a good job of showing, like, how much stuff is in there, even if you don't think you'd be into a traditional RPG, and maybe play a little bit on the success of Breath of the Wild and show, like, hey, there's some similar elements between those two games. Obviously, the battle mechanics are completely different, but yeah, I really think they did a good job with that. So we'll see what happens. I'd be interested to hear from you guys to see, like, if you didn't buy it on other platforms or had no interest, but you're going to jump in on Switch. If that's the case, leave a comment and let me know what sold you. Like, why are you deciding to jump in with this one? Maybe you feel like you've been missing out on it so far, or this trailer just showed it in a new light, and you're like, hey, maybe that game is going to be for me. It's going to be for me. I'm very excited. I've been holding out on the PS4 version because I'm going to play the Switch version. What do we got here? Oninaki. Oninaki is the same team that did I Am Setsuna and Lost Sphere, and they are doing another RPG for the Switch. I don't know if it's coming out on other platforms. Again, I didn't have time to like pick through the fact sheet that came out, but it's their third RPG on Switch. So if you were hoping to see whatever like the Octopath Traveler team is doing, because they are working on something, I would imagine it's going to be quite some time until we see anything about that. So this is a different team altogether, but Square Enix is publishing it. So I loved the look of it, but outside of that, it just seemed like, you know, a traditional RPG, which is not a bad thing by any means. I think, you know, one of the most important parts, or two of the most important parts of any RPG are battle system and story. So, you know, we'll see what happens. We only were given a very tiny bit of the story in this gameplay footage, so it's too early to judge. But yeah, just as far as like the look of it, I definitely am. It piqued my interest, so I need more before I make a final decision. But who's going to complain? Well, I was going to say who's going to complain about another brand new RPG on Switch, but I'm sure there are people who will complain. I finished watching this Direct, and I was like, man, that was a really good Direct, and I sent out a tweet like, hell of a Direct, huh? And, you know, right away people were like, no, it wasn't, you know, and I was like, oh, I forgot. I'm on the internet where everybody hates everything. You have to remember, if you like something, never post about it on the internet, because you'll quickly hear about why you're wrong and why you shouldn't like it. Sometimes, oh no, please! Sometimes I just forget my lesson. Oh boy! This is not good. This is really not good. This is the time when, oh boy. Oh, that was a poor showing. What was that? 18? Oh, my worst yet. That's terrible. I probably got time for one more round based on what I want to talk about. Alright, let's give it a shot. We saw new content for Starlink, so there's some Star Wolf and Team Star Fox stuff showing up in the game. I'm always down for more Star Fox content. That's perfectly fine with me. The real surprising thing is that there's more content coming to Starlink. I didn't, you know, that game sold the best on Switch compared to other platforms, but it didn't exactly light the charts on fire on any platform. So I'm just surprised it's getting more support. But, you know, maybe this stuff was in the works right from the beginning, so why the hell not put it out there? I don't think that content's going to, you know, convince more Switch owners to get out there and buy that game. Maybe the price drops will, because Best Buy's selling the, like, the starter pack for, I already don't like this, the starter pack for, like, 20 bucks or maybe 40 bucks. I don't know, but it's been, like, dropping very steadily, so who knows, maybe someone will say, well, I can get all this Star Fox content, and I like Star Fox, and if I go through Best Buy, I can get the game for 35 bucks, so why not? I don't know. Maybe it'll sell a few more people, but I wouldn't expect, like, a second coming for the game. It's not going to get, like, a second wind and really, like, take off or anything like that. What we've seen from sales on that game is pretty much, I would imagine, where it's going to stand. Maybe, I don't know, maybe another 100,000 units in a year plus, and that's, I think, very optimistic, but hopefully I'm wrong. I enjoyed the game, so. Also, another big surprise was the announcement of Deltarune coming to the Switch. For those who don't know, Deltarune is made by Toby Fox. Toby Fox made, you know, Undertale. I'm sorry, I was paying attention to the game. He made Undertale, which was kind of a big hit, and eventually Undertale made its way over to the Switch. And now, Deltarune, which is like the follow-up to that. It's not a sequel, it's not a prequel, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's certainly tied to Undertale. That came out on PC a while back, and it was free, and now it is coming out on Switch February 28th. It's available to preload now, and it is also free on Switch. So again, this isn't just a demo. Well, technically, I guess Deltarune Chapter 1 is a demo for all of Deltarune, but it's a pretty lengthy demo, and I would call it a self-contained experience. I want to say you get like 3 to 4 hours out of it, and it shows you what is to come in the rest of Deltarune, because more Deltarune is coming. I don't know when it's going to come out, but hopefully if Deltarune first chapter is coming to the Switch, then the other chapters will as well. It all depends on how long it takes Toby Fox to create his content. And I'm a big fan of Undertale, and I'm a big fan of what he does and his unique voice, so as much as I would like to play like more of it now, I'd much rather he takes his time and creates the experience he wants to. I'm not going to say I'll enjoy waiting, but I can manage. There's other stuff to play. I can hang in there, so who knows how long of a wait we're in for. Toby likes to screw around with people too, so for all we know, the game could be almost done. I don't know. That would be lovely. But yes, if you haven't experienced Deltarune, I would highly suggest you play Undertale first. Not that you can't enjoy one without the other, but I think you'll greatly enjoy Deltarune more having played Undertale, because there's a lot of references and callbacks, and certainly some similar mechanics in there too. What else we got here? Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, the worst kept secret from Ubisoft, was officially confirmed today, so I'm just happy that we finally know for sure the game is coming to the Switch. There were so many times it leaked from so many different retailers. Most recently, Ubisoft themselves. They put the game on their official website, like their store, and then it disappeared. So I love that even Ubisoft made the mistake of leaking it, and I guess at that point they were like, everybody knows already, so we'll just go for it. Oh, it's gonna be my worst one yet. Please, please, please! Oh my god. I played this one too fast and loose. Now I'm screwed. I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, I'm gonna... No! Well, all hope is lost. Oh, okay. Alright. Okay! Maybe I shouldn't give up too easily. Oh my god. Oh, well, had a nice little rally there. God, worse and worse. That's terrible. Well, I guess I'm not going to play one more round, because I'm just going to quickly mention the last game on my list, which is Unravel 2. It's something that the developer said they wanted to bring to Switch, but it was EA's decision, and there'd have to be a lot of reworking done and everything, and then holy hell, it's coming to Switch. EA is putting out something for the Switch. Can you believe it? Obviously, they're not doing the bulk of the work there, but that's great. And I think Unravel 2 is a perfect fit for Switch. It's a platformer, which always do well on Switch, and it's co-op focus, which is certainly good for Switch. So I need to see how the game looks and runs on Switch. We saw a little bit, but again, I don't know where the footage is coming from, but color me excited. I didn't play I played the first one, but I didn't play the sequel because I was like, please come to Switch. Please come to Switch. And I was thinking, I'm going to have to give up at some point, otherwise I'm never going to play the game. But thankfully I didn't, because it's coming to Switch. It's coming soon. It's like March 22nd, I think. Alright. That's my picks for the most exciting stuff in the Nintendo Direct. Me, personally. And there's plenty of other stuff in there I am excited about, but overall, these were the bigger things for me. Let me know what you liked during the Direct. Let me know what you disliked, because, again, it's the internet. I know people love talking about what they hate, so go ahead, just be respectful, and don't poo-poo on others who like what you hate. And I guess that's it. I will catch you guys in the next video.